50, 45, there goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 336. Tonight is November 22nd, 2023.
You think it's Super Bowl?
I'm already trying to move past all this bullshit already. E, welcome in. How you doing, kid?
I'm glad to be back. I'm excited for this episode. Thanksgiving special, you could say. Gonna be a loaded one for you boys. Let's have at it.
Yeah, loaded episode. We got a triple header for Thanksgiving. Elvis wasn't here last episode, so I want to get his opinions on some things. We'll recap how our week went. 3 games, like Elvis said, you got Packers special with the Lions, Redskins. Look, it's messed up when I'm calling them the Commanders. Redskins, Cowboys, and Seahawks, 49ers. And then, of course, we'll have some NBA plays towards the end of the show as well. But, I want to start last week. Brandon Staley, man, he's on the hot seat. I feel like, how does this man still have a job? I don't want to hear about Justin Herbert anymore. He played perfectly, I thought. There was too many drop balls. Austin Eckler fumbled in the red zone. They just can't win that game on the road. They should have won, and they made Jordan Love look like a Pro Bowler. I mean, what do you got to say about this Charger team?
Still, to be honest, I thought this Chargers defense would have stepped up and handled business on the road, because we've seen this team have multiple games this season with 5+ sacks. That's a big deal. We saw, Joey Bosa go down with a bad ankle injury, knee injury, whatever it is. Hopefully he could get back on track. But still, the fact that this team wasn't able to take care of Green Bay Packers even though it's on the road, though, that's a bad sign. I understand, Justin Herbert, I agree with you, though. He had a pretty good day. I'm not going to say he had a perfect day, but it wasn't his fault they lost, still. Team had a great day rushing. The fact that Justin Herbert led your team in rushing, not ideal, but still, he went for 80. 70. He went for 70 rushing yards. Austin Eckler, I understand he had the fumble deal, but he did his thing. 10 carries. He's 64 yards. He averaged 6 yards a touch. So I just feel like the defense was a letdown. The fact that Jordan Love was able to pass at 322, I never would have saw that coming. Honestly, Dale, I just got to blame Stanley a little bit, and I'm gonna be honest, you got to fault the defense, because the defense has been playing much better than what they played on Sunday.
And they asked him about that in the post-conference after the game, and he kind of got a little mad. They said, well, your defense is the one that's been kind of faulting you these past few games. Will you still be calling the plays? And he goes, I don't know how many times you're going to ask it. Yes, I'm calling the plays. Nothing's changing. There is a part of it, the ego at this point, because nothing's going to change, and this defense is awful. Thank God Joey Bosa is not out for the season. He is on injury reserve, so he'll miss a minimum of 4 games, but I don't know. This team doesn't look like they might make the playoffs.
No, it's over. I don't see it, especially when you got, Buffalo trying to fight themselves in. So you telling me you're going to outlast Buffalo, Texans, and the Steelers, and possibly the Browns as well? I just don't see it, Dale. If you tell me you're going to win, 4 out of the next 5, you got a shot. But I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't see it either. It was bad performance on the road for the San Diego Chargers. Pittsburgh Steelers, they fire Matt Canada finally. Everyone thinks that's the job, but I think there's enough blame to go around. It's kind of like the Ken Dorsey situation in Buffalo. I agree. There's going to be no more excuse now, though, for Kenny Pickett. I think that was the scapegoat, Matt Canada. Okay, well, he's gone now, so Would you ever consider benching him, because he didn't look good? I know he played a really good defense last week in the Browns, but I mean, he was just god awful, and he hasn't gotten better. 15 for 28, 106 yards. DTR outplayed him. You know what I mean? So what do you do moving forward?
Realistically, though, you got to stick it out. I think you got to see somewhat what not to hurt any wounds though, but somewhat what Robert Saleh did with Zach Wilson. Just stand on it and be like, he's our guy moving forward. And, try to instill that confidence in your quarterback because that's what you could do. At the end of the day, as of right now, the Steelers is a playoff team. As of right now, not you, Dill Pacific, but me. I could say, me. I don't like Kenny. You're a much bigger fan than I am. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you right now, he's in position to make the playoffs still. So no matter what you think, what I think, I don't like the kid. To me, he's a backup. He's chopped liver. But he's put in his position to make the playoffs. So I think you got to keep him in there for the rest of the season. Would I consider benching him personally? To me, he would have never saw the field. That's just me. But, Dale, you can't. He has a winning record. He's led his team to wins. And when his defense played at a high level, he can make a throw or two late in the fourth to possibly win the game or set you up in field goal position to do so. So I think for this season, you got to ride him out some way, same way Robert Saleh said, hey, Zach Wilson's our guy since week one.
Yes, and it honestly felt kind of weird and forced because you never really see the Steelers organization fire a coordinator or coach for that matter in season. I think this was like the first time since 1980s that the Steelers did it. So that just shows you that I don't even think it came from Tomlin, to be honest. I think it was one of the Rooneys who did it from the ownership. But also on the running back, I know Najee Harris is on my fantasy, and I mentioned it a little bit on Sunday, but they got to just continue to force feed Jaylen Warren. He's the much better back, and he might be a top back, not in the AFC, but in this division, maybe outside of Baltimore and Joe Mixon. Jaylen Warren, the rookie, he is fantastic. 9 carries for 129 yards. And like you said, this defense, they're always going to put you in position to win games. I think I just got a little more confident in Kenny Pickett than others, but you're right. I mean, the offense is just stagnant. It's not good, and they're not scoring points when they need to. So tough game there, but yeah, it should be interesting. They are, even though they lost 6-4, they're still right there in the hunt. They could make the playoffs. So you're right about that. And I guess the biggest takeaway I was saying on Sunday was Tommy DeVito. I mean, look at this. This is perfect coming from where we live, the Italian Northeast kind of family that they are. So it was actually good to see him have success. They wind up beating the Redskins 31-19. He threw for 3 tutties, 18 for 26, 246 yards, no turnovers. Saquon had a game as well. Any thoughts on our Italian?
Dill, give a shout out to honestly. I'm a clap for my man DeVito, man, just because you did the impossible, kid. You lived the dream. You from Jersey.
Yeah.
Played in MetLife in high school. Possibly won a high school championship there. I want to put it past
Don Bosco.
Bosco at that, So, Dill, the fact that DeVito, I didn't expect this, Dill, but the fact that he was able to go out there and throw 3 touchdowns. Dill, he has more touchdowns. I'm not going to say the names because you know who, but he has more touchdowns than somebody.
No, I don't know who.
Zach Wilson. Oh. He has the same amount of touchdowns as who? Kenny Pickett. In just 2 games, people. DeVito has the same amount of touchdowns as Kenny Pickett and Zach Wilson.
Oh, no.
That's a problem. Oh. 3 weeks ago, we saw this kid. He couldn't complete a pass. Now we're seeing him throw multiple touchdowns in winning games. What does that say about your coaching staff? What does that say about Canada? Ooh.
Oh, damn.
What that says about Brian Daboll? Oh.
Ex-coach of the year. But I do think Daboll is a good coach. I think
me too. He did a heck of a job. Turned that around in 3 weeks.
I mean, Tommy DeVito. I mean, it doesn't matter if he doesn't win another game. He's won an NFL game.
He's a Jersey legend.
Yeah, he could he probably got a game ball too, and put it in his office and be like,
he don't got an office. He still stays with his mom. He's a legend.
He's a legend.
He's a legend. That's not a bad thing, people. He's it's Italiano.
Why do
a Jersey
think that?
thing. You don't understand.
Why do people think that? I think that's a good deal he has.
Yeah,
probably lives close to his house.
You saw the meme when he was like,
nah.
That you ever see that guy? He had the chain with the suit, with the sweatsuit, with the no shirt. He's like, "Mom, what's the gabagoo?"
That was him.
That was Tommy DeVito after the game.
Oh my God. I could just picture him, in his bedroom, mom calling him down with chicken cutlets
Cutlets.
already.
Come on now. On his way to practice. Trying to give himself the A-ball. Come on now.
He's a legend. I mean, yeah, give credit to Tommy DeVito, man. I'm glad he got the win. Yeah, here's a game I wanted to talk to you about. A tale of two halves. CJ Stroud in the first half looked fucking incredible. Second half, turned the ball over 3 times, but give credit to that defense sticking it out and only allowing 6 points. And I think that's what separates. I think they solidified themselves into not just like an all right team. They're a good team. They won a hard fought game, turning the ball over to a good quarterback like Kyler Murray. That doesn't really happen a lot. So I do want to give credit to the Houston Texans. What are your thoughts on CJ Stroud with the 2 halves?
Still, I gotta give him credit. We knew this game was coming, and the fact that he was able to win his bad rookie game speaks volumes. Still, remember with this kid, I forgot the touchdowns, but I'm pretty sure it was like a 15-2 ratio. He had 2 interceptions coming into this game, people.
Yeah.
As a rookie, he had 2 interceptions going into week 11. I just want y'all to understand that and comprehend that. He was due for a game like this, and the fact that he was able to sniff it out and win it, still, what more could we say about CJ Stroud? I think he was the surprise of the year. I think he's already offensive rookie of the year, whatever you want to name him, Dill. It's just fantastic what he's able to do. To me, the most impressive part was the fact that he was able to throw 3 interceptions, two of them his fault, one of them not his fault.
Yeah.
And then come back and give you a game-winning drive like that, Dill. The fact that the kid didn't hesitate, didn't maybe I just not it today. Nah, he still went out there and still slanged it. It speaks volumes. DeMeco Ryans should be in the conversation for Coach of the Year. Dill, what more could we say about CJ Stroud in this Texans team?
I don't think we could say he's a good rookie quarterback. He's a good quarterback, period.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a rookie. I know technically he's a rookie, but he's not playing like it, and he's played himself right into the MVP conversation, whether you like it or not. You're right, DeMeco Ryan, he's changed his whole franchise around in 1 year. They're the first team to go over their win total. We were wrong on that, but I love him proving him wrong, and he has such a connection with the rookie Tank Dell. I mean, that kid's a beast as well. So they're doing it on all facets, and they have a chance to win the division. Big game this week against the Jags, and they have the Jags number. So if they win this week, they'll have the tiebreaker. So very interesting to see the Texans and their success. And then lastly, you mentioned it, Zach Wilson got benched for Tim Boyle, UConn legend. I really don't know what to say, to be honest. Thomas Morse, the punter, had the best throw of the game. I mean, that was a dime. That led us to the drive that we only scored a touchdown. So we should throw more passes with our punter. That's really what it is. I mean, defense still incredible. I know you put up 32 points, but a lot of them were short fields. We had one long pass to Kasil Sakar, 80-yard catch, but besides that, they really didn't have that many big plays. James Cook had a nice day. Josh Allen had a nice bounce back day. He did throw the 1 interception, but yeah, this team with a backup, 13th new offensive lineman. It's a lead league right now. I just don't know what to say. I mean, even with Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if it would be that much different, to be honest. So I don't think we're totally out. We're still in the hump picture, which haunts me. But, we're going to have to go on a crazy run, which on a short week against a Miami team, it just doesn't look good. Garrett Wilson dropping balls. They locked him up yesterday or a couple days ago, and the Jets didn't convert 1 third down. It was the first time Buffalo Bills held any team to 0 conversions on 3rd down since 1984. So you should be ashamed of yourself. I don't think Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas, I think they're safe for this year. I know I was on record last week and saying their seat might be hot. But I don't think Woody Johnson is going to hold Zach Wilson and Coach Saleh to this. They're going to go all in this offseason, go after Devontae Adams. We've seen the reports that They went after him at the deadline. They're going to pursue hard after in the offseason, and they're going to pair him up with Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see next year. I think their job is safe until next year, until we see what we have with Aaron Rodgers. But man, that offensive line is bad. I think Zach Wilson is taking the benching kind of maturely, but he's right. The offense is stagnant. They can't move the ball, and he hasn't gotten better. I know the offensive line is bad, but that's no excuse. He's still doing awful things, and reading the defense is wrong. And also, I do have to give some of the credit, some of the blame to Nathaniel Hackett. I sent you a picture earlier in the week. Adam Gase's offense might be better than this offense. So let's not put all the blame on Zach Wilson. I know people love to put the scapegoat on the kid, and he deserves some blame. But I think half of the blame needs to go on Nathaniel Hackett as well. Making the change and going and calling plays up in the booth. What spark? He came out after and said, I thought it would provide a spark. What spark? I just don't think – I don't understand the thought process behind some of these decision making. So I think
it's
there's
called,
enough –
It's called he didn't want to be on the field in Buffalo. It's
Yeah,
too cold for him.
He's a word I'm not going to say. But your thoughts on the benching and just the dysfunction moving forward?
I think
also, I do think it is the right move. There needs to be a spark. Zach Wilson needed to be benched because we've seen enough.
I do agree with the benching. It was time. Definitely needed a new arm out there. Zach Wilson, I think that we know what he's capable of doing. We saw a couple of good games still. We saw that 3-game winning streak when, he did the bare minimum, when he didn't really turn the ball over, and he snuck out some victories. Say what you want. He's the only quarterback to beat Philadelphia this season.
That is a fact.
You gotta look at the bright side, people. But at the end of the day, it was time. Realistically, is Tim Doyle better than Zach Wilson? Probably not. But from a fan base perspective, you gotta throw something out there just to give the fan base some hope, And then real quick, though, with the function and everything, Aaron Rodgers ain't helping. The fact that he's telling people he's gonna come back to practice next week,
false hope.
Nah. It's just like, why do that to yourself? Regardless if he comes back and starts playing, he wants to come back Christmas Eve. He's gonna play 2 weeks. He's gonna go out there and play 2 weeks.
I guess
for a 5-10 team. I
don't know. I think he has the false hope as well, or maybe we think it's unrealistic, but in his mind, it's probably realistic that maybe our defense could keep him in some games. But just think the defense is losing hope as well.
Dill, at the end of the day, you're gonna lose. Let's just be real, Dill. Let's look ahead. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose this week, right? Most likely. Tim Doyle 4 days. And then who y'all play next week? Y'all got a bye.
No, we had our bye already. So we got Dolphins, the Falcons. Well, there's a shot there at home. Houston, probably not. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. Dolphins probably lose
in Miami.
Hey, we might beat the Commanders. And then we'll probably lose to the Browns. And is that
that's the game? And that's the game he wants to play.
Yeah, December 28th. He said he wants to come back on his birthday, December 2nd. So that's Saturday. Start practicing again.
I'm telling you right now, Dill, for what? So I'm gonna give 50 the blame to Nathaniel Hackett, 35 of it to Zach Wilson, 10% to Robert Saleh, and 5% to Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
Yeah, just
a little.
Just because, Dill, he's giving off this hope.
Well, I also think, tell me no. I also thought of this, and it's to your point. I also thought that's why the Jets and the trade deadline couldn't go get, hypothetically, a Josh Dobbs or a Kirk Cousins, because from the front office perspective, Aaron Rodgers is giving them this, maybe, I guess, to you and me, a false hope that, hey, I'm going to actually come back this year. And then what are you going to do? You go trade Kirk Cousins or Josh Dobbs and be like, oh, well, now Aaron Rodgers is back?
No, just let him rehab.
But I think that's why the Jets didn't go and get a quarterback, and they kind of stuck with Zach Wilson. What do you think?
It's fair to say, just because during the trade deadline, y'all won 3 out of 4 games.
Yeah. So I think it's still a mess, but we'll see. Hopefully, Tim Boyd does provide a spark on a short week on Black Friday. That brings us to Sunday Night Football. Russ is cooking. 21-20. They rattled off 4 wins now, 5-5. They've kind of turned this thing around. Defense is starting to play better. I mean, you got to give credit to Josh Dobbs, though. Josh Dobbs, he did play a good game. He had that one pick. Alexander Madison had a good game. TJ Hawkinson did all right. But, Russ and the Broncos, this defense has figured some things out. They're playing better. I do think the Vikings will be fine. But hopefully they get Justin Jefferson back, because I think he's not hurting them, but it hurts that he's not on this offense,
Yeah, Dill. I gotta give credit to the Broncos. The fact that Russell Wilson was able to win this game with no running game. They had 15 attempts for 46 yards, Dill. My man Russell Wilson went 27 for 35. Yeah, I understand that it wasn't eye-popping. It wasn't exciting. But he led his team to victory, Dill. I gotta give him credit on that. I think Dallas played well enough to win the game, Dill. I think the Vikings, they kind of coughed this game up. They kind of let it slip out of their hands. The first possession of the game, they fumble off the rip, and then that turnover late. So give credit to Broncos. Their defense is playing at a high level. These 4-game win streak. Russell Wilson's playing great. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, them being more involved in the offense. I feel like that's opening up the playbook a little bit as well. It's just, can they get the ball going in the running game, Dylan? Can they sneak in? They won 4 straight. Yeah. Now they're gonna get right back in the mix. I think they play in the division. You got the Raiders. I think they play the Chargers twice, which as of right now, Dill, that's very winnable games in my opinion. So hey, Denver might have a shot to sneak in, Dill.
That was going to be my next question. Do you think they sneak in? They got 2 games against the Chargers. They have a Patriots game. They have a Texans game. They play the Brownies this week, and then they play the Lions. So there's definitely there's some wiggle room. I think that they could do a shot because, like you said, this defense is keeping them in game. They've kind of figured things out this last 4 or 5 weeks. Even that loss against the Chiefs, they lost just 19-8.
Mm-hmm. And then they beat them. So realistically, I see them beating us, Dill. I see them beating the Browns this week,
and the Chargers.
And the Chargers twice. So that's 4 more wins.
So
I'm done with the Chargers.
Oh, yeah, no, me too, 100%. I'm done with them too. But I was going to ask you something that you mentioned, but we'll talk about that power rankings. You might be done with the Browns. Or no?
No, I'm not done with the Browns. Browns they're still up there. They're just not.
You're worried about the quarterback play.
They would have been higher. Put it like that. They just would have been they would have been way higher if Deshaun was there. That's all, Dill. I still got to keep them up there because at the end of the day, what, 7-4? They're there. They're 6th seed, 5th seed, 6th seed, and Dill, DTR's the only thing holding them back. And if this kid could just not turn the ball over, go out there, throw for like 180, they could run the ball well, and the defense just hold them on. I think it's
ridiculous.
They'll be all right.
Yeah.
They're not going to win a championship, but they'll be all right.
Yeah, 100%. But no, good win for Russ and the Broncos. Trying to make it 5 in a row this week, and I do think the Vikings will be okay. I think they're getting healthier as well. And then let's go to Monday Night Football. Eagles get their revenge on the Chiefs 21-17. First off, did you see that video of Nick Sirianni?
Oh, like him going up the tunnel?
Yeah, thoughts on that?
I'm going to just say this. Some things are beneath your pay and your job position level. That's all. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, it reminded me of kind of like,
bro, you're Nick Sirianni. You've been to the Super Bowl. Yeah. You're not.
Kind of felt forced too, if I'm being honest.
Like, it was.
He didn't need to do it. I thought it was kind of whack, if I'm being honest.
And at the end of the day, kid, you're the best team.
But it's football. A regular season game.
Yeah, I think he wanted to win more than
100%. He did. You could feel that.
And at the end of the day, they were down 17-7, so he just wanted to let it go. But Sirianni, you do that in private. You don't do that.
Yeah,
walking up the tunnel on the opposing team.
If and you're yelling to fans. Yeah,
come on now, you're above that, my boy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. If you want to go and do it in the locker room, cool, dude. That's by all means. Yeah,
but in the tunnel. In Kansas City and Philadelphia, that footage possibly don't even get out. Yeah. But in Kansas City, come on now. You wanted that to get captured. Oh,
that's 100%. He knew cameras were on him. There were a lot of people were saying, oh, that's just people showing their passion. I'm not doubt. I know he
No.
felt that.
Yeah, I'm not. It's
I
nothing
agree.
against him. I'm just saying,
It's
you're better than that. That's all.
100%. But
Like if Bill Belichick done that, I'm be like, yo, sit your ass down, bro.
but he
Like,
doesn't need to because he has rings.
I know that's my point. Andy Reid wouldn't do that.
Exactly. But no, I just thought it was. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was AI. AI nowadays is getting crazy. I don't know what's real and what isn't. But
nah, you
honestly,
could tell
I
it
thought
wasn't
AI.
just because it wasn't like the highest quality video. It was definitely somebody like.
Yeah. Other than that, though, it was a really good game. Weather kind of made it a little shitty, but we first of all give us credit. We both go 2-0, end the week strong. Hit on the under. Jalen Hurts, excuse me. He gets over the rushing attempts. You hit on Eagles plus the points. Keep them. They win outright. And Isaiah Pacheco, man, he was running like a beast. He always seems to run hard against this Eagle team. But I guess the biggest takeaway, I guess Chiefs, they struggle to score in the second half. That's 3 weeks in a row. Now they haven't scored in the second half. Defense isn't the issue. I think the defense is fine. I don't think we need to overreact like last time they lost, but I don't think you could blame this one on Mahomes. There was a lot of drops. He did throw that one interception, but you can't take anything away from that Eagles defense. They're by far not by far, but they're the best team in the NFL. They're the most complete team on both sides of the ball. Defense always is keeping them in games. They force a fumble on the goal line, punch it out of Kelsey. They pick off Mahomes, like I said, in the end zone as well. So that's at least 6 or possibly 14 points for the Chiefs and any other team. So that defense is playing well. Jalen Hurts, you can't discredit. He made a huge throw down the sideline in the second half to Devontae Smith. It was a Devontae Smith game. It wasn't really AJ Brown. Devontae Smith, 6 catches, 99 yards. AJ Brown, just 1 catch. He was a little frustrated, but you know how those receivers are. They could act like a little divas. But, Devontae Smith, he had an amazing game. And Swift. I mean, this guy, getting him for a third rounder, 12 carries for 76 yards, but he also caught 3 balls for 31 yards. He was an all-purpose back over 100 yards in the game. One, you got to give credit to the defense of Philly, and Jalen Hurts, I thought, outplayed Patrick Mahomes. What are your thoughts?
So I think it was a good game. Like you said, weather had a little bit to do with it. I think it would have been I think your underplay would have been hurt if the weather was good, Dill. Let's just say that. But, it's a tale of two halves. Kansas City, Dill, Patrick Mahomes looked all right. And then the running game, Dill, in the first half, Isaiah Pacheco ran the hell out of the ball. Patrick Mahomes, every time he couldn't find something down the field, he was able to scramble out. Even Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he finally came back. He ran the ball great, Dill. This team had 168 rushing yards. 130 of them were in the first half. This team ran for 130 in the first half, Dill. Yeah. I don't know why
they went away from it.
I don't know why they went away from it. I don't know why you made it the Patrick Mahomes show up 10 points going into half. I don't understand, Dill. I want to give credit to Kansas City's defense, holding this Philadelphia team to just 7 points in the first half, getting 5 sacks on Jalen Hurts.
Chris Jones, he had those back-to-back sacks in the first half. He is a problem.
Dill. Chris Jones living up to that big contract, well-deserved. And like Dill, like you said, DeAndre Swift had himself a game, key runs. And Dill, every time the Philly offense couldn't get nothing going, what they'll do, they'll hit you with that screen. And that screen will get you a ton of yards. And then Jaden could always get that tush push. And like you said, Dill, Devontae Smith had himself a game. It wasn't the A.J. Brown show. It was the Devontae Smith show. So shout out Devontae Smith. He had those great catches, 6 for about 99 yards. And Dill, my main takeaway is from this game is the Kansas City offense in the second half. The fact that Justin Watson is your leading receiver with only 53 yards, that's a problem.
Drops.
Dill, it's a lot of drops. You had Travis Kelsey. He has 7 receptions. Only 44 yards. That's called clamps, people. Rashad Rice, he's good. Or Rashid Rice, he's good. They'll 4 catches for 42 yards. They were held in check. So you got to give credit to this Philly defense for holding. Yes, I understand it was a ton of jog passes. I understand the weather wasn't his best. It was raining for 3.5 quarters. But the fact that you was able to hold this Kansas City Chiefs team to 0, once again, I'm saying it's a third straight game deal, but the fact that you would do it in Arrowhead, I think that's impressive.
What needs to change? Because now that's 3 weeks in a row, and they're against good defenses. The Broncos.
You know what I'm gonna say, Dill.
It's gonna be. Are they missing Eric Bieniemy?
They're missing the fuck out of Eric Bieniemy. We see it right now, Dill. Who leads the NFL in passing yards or top 2 in passing yards? It's Washington Commanders and Sam Howell. Who's struggling to pass the ball and find a rhythm in 3 straight second halves? The Kansas City Chiefs. It's just, I'm just filling in the blanks, people.
Yeah.
There's no reason why Sam Howell is leading the NFL in passing yards and Mahomes is not even top 3. That's a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. Also, I don't want to put all of it, but it is a lot of drops when he's hitting them right on the hands.
No, the drops still.
We
saw it since week 1.
I know.
We saw this team. I saw a thing earlier today. If you just count the drops, still this team will be 10-0 if they just caught the ball.
I love stats like that. It's like,
Harmon, he catches that ball, they win this game. Week 1, if Kadarius Toney just catches 1 out of 5 drops, they win that game. Week 1. Yeah. So this team would have been 9-1, and against Denver, they had a few drops as well. So I'm not going to overreact. I do think it is concerning that the fact
what are they doing in halftime? That's my
nothing.
Thing. Nothing. They can't be because there's no halftime adjustments. And you might be ahead in the first half, but what are you doing in the second half?
This is the thing: is they probably adjusting, but they're not making adjustment to their adjustments. That's what I think it is, Dill. They probably just gonna be like, we could do this probably a little better, but they're not reacting to what their team, to the opposing team has brought out the second half. And that's what clear cut, 3 straight games, 0 over. Yeah. That's a problem. You're Patty Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Yeah, that's just unacceptable for the talent that they have. And to be honest, I don't want to hear everyone all coming out of the woodworks. They're missing Tyreek Hill. They just won the Super Bowl. What are we talking about? Like, stop saying, you can't just give it and blame to one single thing, saying, it's Tyreek Hill because
the last time Travis Kelce had 7 catches for 44 yards? That's the problem, people. Exactly. It's not Tyreek Hill's fault. It's the playmaking, it's the scheming, it's the play calling.
Matt Nagy, Chicago Bear head coach, he's the OC.
He's not it. He's not it, and we're seeing it. Maybe Andy Reid is just the one that's saying pass or run, and maybe Nagy's the one that's actually dicing the play. But Andy Reid is just the one saying run this down, pass this down.
They play the Raiders this week. Do they score in the second half? Yes or no?
So to be honest, that defense is playing lights out with Antonio Pierce at the helm. We saw them cover that huge spread against Miami last week on the road.
Defense played pretty well.
Dill, if that game is in Vegas, I'll give them a shot. I'm gonna give them a shot.
Yeah, it is.
They slowed down. They slowed Miami deep offense, who's averaging over 30 points a game. Kansas City ain't averaging 30+ points a game. I'll tell you that.
Doesn't this dream bounce back spot for the Chiefs? I mean, I feel like this is just.
Dill, it's been 3 weeks straight. It's been 3 weeks straight to bounce back. That's the thing, Dill. It's not like, this is a once. We saw it. This is 3 second halves in a row. That's a problem. It started in what? Germany?
Yeah, it started Denver, then Germany, and then last week.
That's a problem.
Yeah, again. But 3 good defenses, I will argue. But I do think they'll be all right. I'm not going to overreact. Elvis, let's go right into our power rankings. And we'll start with number 1. I'll lead us off. It has to be the Philadelphia Eagles, 9-1. Best team, like I said, most complete team on defense and offense. I think Jalen Hurts, phenomenal. They're averaging 2.1 yards per attempt on the tush push. So it's almost unstoppable. I think Antonio Brown, he got clamped up last week, but they have a tough schedule moving forward. I will say that Philadelphia Eagles, they play Bills, 49ers, Cowboys, Seahawks. They got some games. They're going on a bye right now, but they are the best team. They're going on a much-needed bye. I mean, what can we say? Eagles have to be number 1.
Yo, give me the Philadelphia Eagles at number 1. Yo, this team, they're 9-1. Their defense is finally getting healthy. We saw Kevin Byard get his first interception as an Eagle, Dill, solidifying that secondary. Dill, we saw a guy coming off the streets get that shoe strip against Travis Kelsey. Dill, you got guys making plays on this defense. We know Jalen Hurts in this offense. You got AJ Brown. You got Devontae Smith. You got Swift as well. Gonna make plays. Dallas Goddard is gonna be back soon. Dill, if this defense keep playing and getting much healthier, Jalen Carter is playing like defensive rookie of the year. Dill, we've seen it week in, week out. Dill, watch out with this Eagles team. They might be on another run. Give me the Eagles at number 1.
All right. And for number 2, I got the 49ers. I just think how dominant they've been playing, 7-3. I think they're right there. I mean, I think it'd kind of be a pick 'em in a neutral field between the 49ers and the Eagles. I think when healthy, Brock Purdy, perfect passer rating last week. He's back. Trent Williams healthy. Deebo Samuel back. When everyone's healthy, this is going to be a hard team to stop. Kyle Shanahan's one of the best coaches in the league. They're going to miss Tafungo. Their safety, he's out for the year, torn ACL, but I think that pass rush will help out that secondary, but still one of the most scariest teams. I got 49ers at number 2.
So at number 2, give me the Baltimore Ravens still. God, I just feel like, Lamar with that huge game last Thursday, the team overall. I understand Joe Burrow goes down, but to win that game by 14 points is still impressive to me. I understand they had no Joe Burrow in the second half. The running game is getting there. Odell Beckham is waking up. I understand Mark Andrews, the loss there. But I still like this Ravens team. That defense is phenomenal. Give me the Baltimore Ravens at number 2.
At number 3, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, I'm not going to overreact too much on the loss. They were right there. They were winning most of the game up until the fourth quarter. I think they'll figure some things out. Drops, like I said, are a very big concern. But, Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's coming back, taking a little load off of Isaiah Pacheco. And I think Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and Matt Nagy, they'll figure something out offensively. But defensively, that's a top 5 defense. I mean, Chris Jones is just playing flat out amazing right now. They're covering everyone. Secondary's playing well. So don't worry about the defense. I think they'll be all right. 7-3, I got the Kansas City Chiefs at 3.
At number 3, I had to push him back up. Give me the 49ers at number 3. Had to move him back up. Like you said, Brock Purdy, perfect passer rating. The fact that he was able to do that with a quiet game for Deebo Samuels, it speaks volumes. The defense is up and going again. I understand they lose the safety. He's one of the best safeties in football too,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you noticed or took note. Chase Young has been playing at another level these past few weeks.
It was the Redskins. That's why.
Yeah, since he put that uniform on. So long as that pass rush is getting to that quarterback, it doesn't matter who's in it. I could be in the secondary. Give me the 49ers at number 3. CMC's still the best running back in football.
Real quick, I want to make Brandon Ayuk would be a number 1 on other teams, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quietly being one of my favorite wide receivers.
I told you that beginning of the year. Him over was one of my favorite plays.
I think it was like 800 something, kind of something disrespectful. So
yeah.
At number 4, give me the Baltimore Ravens. Big win against. I know a lot of people discredit it. Joe Burrow went out, but it doesn't matter. We were still winning with I'm saying we like I'm a fan. Yeah. Because I was there. I was rooting for the Ravens. But the Ravens were still winning without him. Mark Andrews, hopefully, there was good signs. Harbaugh came out this week and said hopefully he'll make a return late into the playoffs. But this defense, I think they'll be fine. Odell stepped up. Zay Flowers is a beast. Rashad Bateman actually had a pretty good game as well. So running the ball, Lamar playing at an MVP level in this defense and with Roquan Smith, they're going to be just fine. So, yeah, I got Baltimore at number 4.
At number 4, give me the Kansas City Chiefs. I had to move him down just a little bit. Too many drop passes and 0 points in the second half. That's the only concern I have for this team moving forward. Can the receivers make plays down the stretch? I'm not even concerned about the defense. Give Steve Spagnuolo a lot of credit, I think we got to give him his flowers. But they just got to score some points in the second half. And maybe this team will be 9-1 with those Eagles. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs at number 4.
At number 5, give me the Detroit Lions. Scared me. Jared Goff did not play good at all. They barely snuck out a win against the Bears. I mean, what a tank job by the Bears. We didn't touch on that game, but that was awful. They're 8-2, credit. It might have been ugly, but, as bad as Jared Goff played, he had a hell of a drive and a game-winning drive. They put up 17 in the fourth quarter. They got the job done running the ball. Gibbs has kind of quietly come on too these past couple of games. Montgomery coming back. Jameson Williams, he's sneaky. He's being really good, and I think that defense will tighten things up. They're sitting around 18th in the league, middle of the pack, but I like this team. And they're fighting for that number 1 seed. Watch out for the Detroit Lions sitting at number 5 for me.
Still at number 5, new number 5. Still, give me the how about them Cowboys. Still, I gotta give them credit. I understand they just played the Carolina, but still, they've just been dominating these teams these past few weeks. Dak Prescott, may I say, has been playing at an MVP level. Still,
he might be that far.
Still, he might be sneaking his way into the conversation. I'm gonna be honest. Still, he's been playing at a very high level. That defense keep that's why I put him in the top 5, dude. That defense keep getting turnovers, keep getting touchdowns still. Dak is playing at a high level. CeeDee Lamb's playing like a top 5 wide receiver. Welcome to that room, CD. And then that defense still. It might not be the number 1 defensive football deal, but it ain't far from the top 5. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Definitely the number 1 scoring defense. Give me the Cowboys at number 5.
Yeah, at number 6, give me the Dallas Cowboys. That's the one thing I was hesitant about. But, they play who's in front of them. They did kill them, and they didn't just beat them. They killed the Carolina Panthers. That guy, Bland, he had another pick 6. He has 4 on the year. This defense is playing really well.
Real quick, though. He has more touchdowns.
Yeah, we know. I know.
Amon-Ra Brown, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, I'm sure. Those are talented wide receivers. People.
He probably has more receiving touchdowns than the whole Jets team.
See, I don't even know about that. I'm giving you facts that I know.
But it wouldn't surprise you.
He probably does. He probably got more touchdowns than Garrett Wilson. Now, Garrett Wilson doesn't have 4.
He probably has more receiving touchdowns than the whole Panthers squad. Oh, I'm being dead ass. He's going crazy right now. But
that's why I had to put him there. The defense going crazy.
Dak is playing better. I can admit that. You got to give credit where it's due. Besides last month, besides the Eagle game where he still played pretty well, I think he has been playing really well. So Tony Pollard's kind of picked up. He had a nice game last week, but I don't want to take too much away from it. We'll see this weekend on a short week against against the Redskins where, we'll get into it, but the Cowboys do not play good on Thanksgiving for whatever reason it is. I don't know. It's their Achilles heel, but they are a really good team right now. 7-3. Give me the Dallas Cowboys at number 6.
Dale, at number 6, give me the Detroit Lions. I had them at number 5 last week, Dale, and you hit the nail on the coffin. The only reason they fell out of my top 5, Dale, is that defense is dropping. This defense, the first 7 weeks of the season was on a different level. These past few weeks, still not so much. So, like you said, they're 18th in ranking now defensively. That's not good. Every team in my top 5 is a top 10 defense. So that's the main reason why I moved Detroit Lions out of it, Dale. Jared Goff had those 3 interceptions. The fact that we're able to win the game is good, but the fact that they're not able to beat this Bears team by double digits at home, I'm not gonna say concerning, but those games like that, you got to take care of business, Dale. And they didn't take care of business. They let the Bears hang around. That's the only reason I had to drop them down a spot. That wasn't a top 5 performance.
In a neutral site, Dallas, Detroit,
neutral
site,
Dallas.
Well, that's who you would want to win.
That's who will win. Neutral site. They got the better defense. That right now.
Do you think they would be favored? Do you think they would be favored on a neutral site, the Cowboys? I don't know.
Yeah, just because money wise, yeah. But realistically, Dale, if you tell me they're in Detroit, I think they'll be a 1.5 point favorite. If
even on the road.
Dallas, no, I'm saying Detroit will be a 1.5 point favorite, and Dallas will be like a 2.5, maybe 3 point favorite at home. Neutral site, I give Dallas
pick 'em
a 1.5, maybe -2. Maybe.
Yeah, because I do think the money will pour in on America.
Yeah, that's all. I just feel like they're a little better, and like you said, defense is what wins you. That defense is playing at a much higher level right now. That's all.
Yeah, Minka Parsons 2 games ago went a whole game without getting a tackle, but it is
If
Minka Parsons.
that secondary's the secondary's the story
Yeah,
right now, Dill.
and Jared Goff has kind of fell off just
And
a
that's the thing.
little.
Jared Goff regressing a little bit. He's still in the
Yeah.
top 10-ish, but right now, Dill, these past 3 weeks, Dak Prescott numbers are undeniable.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I think the Lions would give them a run for their money. It'd be a really good game. That's why I just wanted to ask the question because we haven't had them flip. For number 7, give me the Miami Dolphins. Big win for them as well. But let's be honest, they still have a lot to prove. And to be honest, they didn't play all that good. Jalen Ramsey, he made a crazy interceptions. He's still doing good, but Dolphins, 3 turnovers, and they barely snuck out a win against the Raiders, who are playing pretty good football with Antonio Pierce at the helm. They didn't cover the big number. And to be honest, I might say something crazy to all my Miami fans out there, but I think Tyreek Hill is more valuable than Tua. So if you want to put Tua at the MVP level, I think Tyreek Hill needs to be there because he's just having a monster year. So honestly, I think Tua kind of moves this offense and not Tua, but that's my take. Still got to beat. Hey, they finally beat above 500 team. They beat the Raiders week 1 against the Chargers. It was 0-0, but they finally beat above 500 team. I got the Dolphins at 7.
Dill, I got the Dolphins at number 7 as well. I didn't move them. I'm gonna just say what I've been saying all year. Till this team beats,
They did.
playoff. They're not a playoff team, Dill.
Okay.
Say what you want. The Raiders, O'Connell.
Aiden O'Connell.
That's not a playoff team. Till this team beats a playoff team. At the end, this team lost to 30 by Buffalo. And what we think about Buffalo? Is Buffalo in the top 10, Dill? Absolutely not. Definitely not in mine. So I just got to see more from Miami. I love the fact that Jalen Ramsey looked like his former self, Dill. I want to say he's not the best quarterback in football, but Dill, he looked like it. You can't fight. He looked like it now. So I like the fact that Jalen Ramsey looked like his older self, Dill. And I agree with you, Dill. I think the Raiders are just playing really good football right now. So I'm not gonna kill them on not covering against the Raiders. I gotta give credit to the Raiders, though. They're playing at a good level right now. The defense is flying high. In Miami, Dill, I'm agree with you. I still think if you're making a case for Tua to win the MVP, Tyreek should also be in that conversation. I do agree with you at that.
Good.
At that pace.
Number 8, who would have thought? Give me the Brownies, 7-3. They just keep on winning. Kevin Stefanski, I think, is doing a good job with this team. Going down one of the best running backs in Nick Chubb. Then Deshaun Watson's out with a right shoulder injury, and full week of practice. DTR steps up. PJ Walker had a nice couple games as well. And this defense, man, they have 4 wins decided in the last 2 minutes of the game, so they're very clutch, this team as well. So defense, special teams, Stefanski play calling. I think the play calling is suiting this offense. They're not going to wow you with points, but I think Kevin Stefanski is doing a really good job with this team. I don't think they should be penalized because their quarterback got hurt. This is a very good Browns team, even with DTR. Give me the Browns at number 8.
Dill, I was close to put them there, Dill, but I'm my number 8 team. I just had to put them there because the quarterback. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 8. Great bounce back win last week. I think we saw Trevor Lawrence best game and Calvin Ridley as well. He had 2 in the air and 2 running on the ground. Dill, I want to see more of this version of Trevor Lawrence moving forward. We know what that defense is capable of doing. They could be top 10, top 12-ish at times, and there's other games where they don't show up, Dill. And then, Dill, if we get this version of Calvin Ridley week in and week out, this Jacksonville offense is going to definitely put up some numbers on the floor, Dill. So give me Jacksonville at number 8. The only reason I bumped the Browns down is DTR, Dill.
Which is I'm so glad I made the point then before, because I don't think they should be. It kind of reminds me of like Florida State in the college playoff, and we'll talk about that on next pod. But like Jordan Travis, one of the Heisman candidates, he broke his leg. And now they're kind of being punished, even though they're undefeated. And now it kind of bumps up Washington. I get it. But, you got to judge them not saying you, but I feel like the committee needs to be judging Florida State kind of the same standard, not because the quarterback went down. But I get it. It's obviously not Deshaun Watson and Steve TR. He is a rookie, but I do think Kevin Stefanski is playing really well. And at number 9, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. I agree with you. I thought that was the best game all year for Trevor Lawrence. He played really well. He had a couple rushing touchdowns as well. Calvin Ridley finally got it going. And the other Josh Allen on defense, he has 9.5 sacks, just one shy of his career high. So he's getting to it. They lead the league with 54 quarterback pressures as well. So they're getting up there. They're pressuring the quarterback. Their defense is playing all right. I like this Jacksonville team, but it's going to be a tough one against the Texans here. So I got Jacksonville at number 9.
Yeah, at number 9, give me the Cleveland Browns. The only reason this team realistically ain't like number 6, number 7 is the quarterback. If Deshaun Watson was there, this team will be right up there. I think to be honest, I think they're better than the Dolphins with Deshaun Watson, my opinion. I just feel like with Deshaun Watson, I think you saw it first, I'm going to give you credit. Dill did put a ticket in people for the Cleveland Browns to win the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they would have won the Super Bowl. All I'm saying is they would have had a damn shot with that defense and Deshaun Watson. That's all I'm saying. There's 7-3 people with multiple wins via backup quarterback. You got to give coaching staff credit. You got to give that defense credit, Dill. This team overall is much higher than a number 9 ranked team, but their quarterback is the only thing that's holding them back. Give me the Browns at number 9. Wish Deshaun Watson didn't get hurt.
Yeah, Myles Garrett leading the league in sacks as well. He's having a tremendous year. And then rounding off the top 10, surprise, we got a new entry. Give me the Houston Texans at number 10. I bumped them up there. It was between them and 11. I put Seahawks, and 12. I put the Bills. But Texans, like I said, this isn't a good rookie quarterback. This is a good quarterback. CJ Stroud, he played one bad half of football. That's it. He'll be fine. Think this offense, the chemistry with Tank Dell. You have Singletary. That's back-to-back 100-yard. They're finally running the ball, and that defense is playing well. Second half, only holding Kyler Murray to 6 points. I think D'Amico Ryans, they have a chance at making the playoffs, one, and they have a shot at the division this week. So big game coming up, and just the maturity and the development at such a young age from CJ Stroud is actually remarkable. So I love this team. Give me the Texans at number 10.
Dill, at number 10, I couldn't agree more. New number 10. Give me the Houston Texans at number 10, Dill. I can't deny it any longer. CJ Stroud, what he's able to accomplish is just fascinating, Dill. It's just amazing. The fact that he's this good this soon.
Yeah.
Nobody saw it coming. Like you said earlier, we both took the team under a total. And Dill, this team is live right now. Season ends today. This is a playoff team.
Yeah.
So if CJ Stroud wills this team from having the number 1 pick to the fucking playoffs, this is one of the best things we witnessed. Yeah. One of the best things we witnessed. D'Amico Ryan should run away with Coach of the Year. I understand, Sirianni's 9-1. I understand that. I understand Dan Campbell. That was my pick. I got huge plus money on that. But if D'Amico Ryan wins it over Dan Campbell, I'm not mad about it. Give me the Houston Texans at number 10. And Dale, real quick, just to tell you my 11 through 13, I had to put the Bills at number 11. That was a dominating performance. The offense finally got it clicking, so I got to give them credit there. And the Seahawks bumped them down to 12 from 10. That was a bad loss. You lose to the fucking Rams. Come on, you got
Kenneth Walker and Gino got hurt.
I understand, Dale, but come on. You gotta win that game. You was in position to win the game. You're up a touchdown in the 4th. You gotta bring that home. And then the Broncos at 13. They're coming. Broncos at 13, Steelers at 14.
Yeah.
Broncos at 13, Steelers at 14.
Yeah, like I said, Seahawks at 11. I had to drop them. Yeah, you're right. It is a tough loss. But how tough is fucking Matthew Stafford? He got fucked up, and he still went back into the game. This might be the top 5 toughest football players I've ever seen as a quarterback. 12, I put the Bills. I had to bump them up 1. And then 13, I have the Minnesota Vikings. And then I have 14, I have the Denver Broncos. But, yeah, very, very interesting, Saints were up there too. They're 5-5. Steelers, I had to drop them to 15. Bengals. We'll see how they do, but we'll see. I love the rankings. Should be very interesting moving forward. But by the way, I forgot to mention 7-5 on the week 11. So another positive week. What was your record last week, kid?
Dale went 5-5. You know, not terrible, but not great. We're gonna bounce back this week. I could guarantee we're gonna have a positive week, Dale.
By the way, Coach of the Year candidates plus 150 and the favorite Dan Campbell. Plus 150, second, plus 350, our boy D'Amico Ryan. CJ Stroud, Offensive Rookie of the Year, minus 5,000. Yeah, he's probably going to get it. Like I said, DeMar Hamlin, give me that. Minus 150, Comeback Player of the Year.
That's crazy.
My ticket's going to cash. I'm telling you.
That's the worst ticket in history.
Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett is the leader at even money at plus 100. Minka Parsons is at plus 230. Offensive Player of the Year, Tyreek Hill at plus 115. Christian McCaffrey at plus 150. And then MVP, Jalen Hurts leads at plus 250. Lamar plus 420. And Mahomes at plus 460. Thoughts on any of those? I
got Dan Campbell plus 1,000, Coach of the Year.
Ooh, look at that. Those are way to get the greatest value, kid. Atta boy.
Dill.
Now you're hoping for it. Now you're hoping.
It's live, but realistically, I don't know. Dill, with the MVP, Dill, I just feel like just real quick. No. I just feel like Dill, like, why is it only a quarterback award? You just listed off 4 quarterbacks. Yeah. You know, like that's my thing. Like I agree with you. I think Tyreek should be in the conversation. I think CMC should be in the conversation. He's having himself a year, you know. So I just feel like other players should be at least in the conversation, people. That's all.
The top 10 are all quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, Lamar,
Shocker.
Patty Mahomes, Tua, Dak. Good call. Dak is 4th. Brock Purdy, CJ Stroud, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence.
You're not telling me Tyreek Hill doesn't have a better shot than Trevor Lawrence.
That's what, or Brock Purdy. I love Brock Purdy, but
or CJ Stroud. Like, you're not gonna tell me Tyreek's not having a better season than CJ Stroud. You're not gonna tell me if Tyreek Hill wasn't on the Miami Dolphins, they'll be 7-3 on top of the division. They wouldn't.
Tyreek Hill and Christian McCaffrey plus 6,000. They're the first 2 non-quarterbacks, and then Myles Garrett 150-1, which I do agree with. I do think if he goes out there and gets another 9-10 sacks and they win the division.
If he goes out there, if this team goes out there and wins 11 games,
he has to be the MVP.
Sets the all-time sacks record
and get the 1 seed.
Nah, not realistically. They're a top 4 seed. They're a top 4 seed, Dill. He got to at least be in the conversation. I don't want to hear 7 quarterbacks ahead of him. No, those 7 quarterbacks didn't lead their team. He led their team.
If you think of the Browns, you're not thinking quarterback now. You're thinking Myles Garrett.
You're thinking the defense. Right now, realistically, Dill, we're thinking the Kansas City Chiefs. We're thinking about that top 5 defense. I'm not too focused on that offense right now.
No, I'm worried about Myles Garrett. Yeah. I mean, that's the odds are just so disrespectful. And the only reason I was bringing up the 1 seed is because that kind of puts it over the top for voters. Oh, you led your team, quote unquote, to the 1 seed.
Like Jalen Hurts, he's the favorite right now. I don't agree with it, but his team does have the best record. I can't deny it.
I agree, but he also has the best team.
Yeah.
So that helps. I agree. I don't think he should be up there. I think Lamar should be the favorite. And then, honestly,
to me, it's Lamar, Tyreek Hill, CMC.
I was just going to say Tyreek had 2, but I stopped myself because I thought it was too much. But I honestly think that.
Yeah,
I think Tyreek Hill is the best offensive player in the league right now. Is that crazy?
No, I got Lamar, Tyreek Hill, CJ Stroud.
Wow.
CJ, not Dill, realistically.
I'm
gonna put Dak in front of CJ. Dak is still, I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect Dak to be this good this year. I'm gonna be real.
I would also put Mahomes though. Like I also think
Mahomes himself is the best quarterback in the league.
That's what I'm saying.
This season, he's not having the greatest. It's not him, but you know, he's just so many drops.
Yeah, no, I agree. These are so fun. I love the discussions. I just wanted your take on Campbell and everybody, but let's dive into it.
I was going to do an ad read real quick.
We're brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We favor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around the golf with the boys or an elderberry on Thanksgiving watching all 3 games, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing. Jake, our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, E, let's get into it. We got a triple header starting at 12:30 in Detroit. Jack Harlow is the halftime performance. Do you like that? You're not a Jack Harlow fan.
I'm not saying I'm not a Jack Harlow fan, but
I think he makes pretty good music.
Yeah, he's all right. I feel like,
I sense that you don't like him.
No, I'm just saying for a Thanksgiving Day, I feel like you got to get a legend. I like Jack Harlow, but he ain't no legend, and he's not from Detroit. He's from Cleveland.
Yeah, that's my thing. You got to
get
from
Eminem.
Ohio. You got to get Eminem,
right? You
can't
get Eminem, but you got to get at least either a legend or somebody
Akon.
from Detroit.
Not Akon. Big Sean from Detroit.
Get Big Sean. Wait, hit the nail on the coffin. Yeah. Get fucking Big Sean. I bet Big Sean would have hit you over the head.
Right.
He's from Detroit. He's probably a lifelong Lions fan. People,
legend.
Come on now.
Gotta get
Great
Big
call,
Sean.
Dale.
Yeah.
Get Big Sean, man.
Lions, they are home favorites, -7.5, plus 290 if you want to take the Green Bay Packers on the money line. Over under is at 46.5. Aaron Jones is out. Jair Alexander is questionable as well. AJ Dillon, he has a groin injury. He's questionable as well. Got a lot of going on here with the Packers. I'll start this one, kid, because I just love the Lions here. I think they dominate this Packer. I think this is also a good teaser spot. Packers can't stop the run. I think this could be a big game for Montgomery and Gibbs, and this is also a good fade spot for the Packers coming off that big win at home against the Chargers where they had no business winning that game. So Lions, they got something to fight for. Like I said, they have a shot at that #1 seed. I'll lay the 7.5. Packers, they've gone just 2-5 straight up against the spread in their last 7 games, with only one of their victories coming off against a Rams team that was led by Brett Rippin. So, 7 game span, they lost, and it started with the Lions. They lost 34-20 back in week 4. So it's just tough for me to see this rematch going any differently. Packers, they've lost 4 straight games away from Lambeau Field. Lions are 4-0 straight up and 3-1 ATS in the past 4 games. I love the Lions here, kid. I'll lay the 7.5.
Dill, personally, I like the -7.5, Dill, but I'm not going to lay it. It is Turkey Day. Maybe, some boys come out there fighting for ambition and come out fighting for that Turkey Day special, Dill. If it was at 6.5, I would have laid because
the market is telling us something, though, E. They shouldn't be 7. They should be at least a 9-point favorite. Easy, I think.
Yeah, but there was Turkey Day. We saw Jared Goff arguably have his worst game of the season. I understand he's due for a bounce back, but, the Packers did sneak out a victory. Some people could say Jordan Love best performance of the season, Dill. I'll give him a shot to cover, Dill. But I ended up playing it safe. I ended up putting the Detroit Lions in a 2-way 6-point teaser on the day to play it safe, people. But I have 2 player props in this game.
I'll lead it off because I have a player prop as well. I'm going to go Jahmyr Gibbs over 27.5 receiving yards. He racked up 35 receiving yards each of his last 4 games. He had 6 catches, 59 yards last week. I told you they're working him into the offense more and more, even with Montgomery back in the fold. So, he's back. I think we saw a little decline in the rush attempts, but that leaves it open for the catches out of the backfield. He is a very explosive back. And, I think they want to get the ball in his hands. He's a first round playmaker, and I think they want to get him involved in the offense. So 27.5 receiving yards. Give me the over on Jahmyr Gibbs.
Dill, Like you said, the rush attempts went down a little for Gibbs. You know what that means? Give me David Montgomery anytime touchdown deal. We seen Gibbs get he'll be with them, on pass downs, get them down the field, and we know who's the goal line back. We know who's that muscle for that team, and it's David Montgomery. It's a little chalky, people, but
What
that's
is
why.
it?
Minus 150, but I love it, Dill. Give me anytime touchdown, David Montgomery, minus 150, and then Dill. This kid's been quiet, having a quiet season. I don't expect him to have a huge game, but I expect him to go over this mark, though. Give me Christian Watson over 40 and a half receiving yards at minus 115. I just feel like, somebody's going to catch some balls on Thanksgiving. Jordan Love is going to throw some good balls, and I think Christian Watson is going to catch them. Also lean Romeo Dobbs over 40 and a half receiving yards as well. They both sitting at 40 and a half. I feel like Jordan Love could get them, each 3 to 5 balls, and they both could go over. But I like Christian Watson. He could probably go over with just one ball. So give me Watson over 40 and a half receiving yards and David Montgomery anytime touchdown. And also tease the Detroit Lions down to minus 1.5.
Yeah, David Montgomery, I see him at other books, minus 145 anytime touchdown. So shop around. But yeah, I like him. He seems like a sure thing. And I do agree. I think that's, putting him down to a minus 1.5 is the best option in a teaser. I'm going to have a teaser galore on Thanksgiving. Teaser Thanksgiving. That's what it's called. Double T. Let's go to the Cowboys at Jerry World hosting the Redskins, laying 12.5. Dolly Parton is the halftime performance.
See, legend
in Texas. I was just gonna say they did good on that one. Yeah, she's probably one of my favorite women in the world. But yeah, Cowboys laying 12.5 plus 520 for Ron Rivera and the Redskins. Over unders at 48.5. I'll let you start this one. What do you got, Kip?
Still, I want to lay the minus 12.5 so bad. We see the Giants team last week pick apart. We see Tommy DeVito pick apart this Washington defense. You telling me Dak Prescott ain't at the level and run he's been on these past few weeks, people? Still, the only reason I'm not laying the minus 12.5 is because in recent history, like you said, Dill, the Cowboys just seem to stutter step. Come Thanksgiving, we saw that bad loss against the Raiders last season. That was a shocker. Dill, the right play is the minus 12.5. But can we trust the Cowboys on Thanksgiving to win this game by 13? I think they do, but I'm not putting my money on it, people. With that being said, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to do 2-player props still. So if you want me to take away, I could take away. If not, you can stop me right there.
Since 2011, Cowboys are 1-11 ATS on Thanksgiving. Dak Prescott is 1-5 ATS on Thanksgiving.
They might be due.
I really want to. This is just like a close your eyes and just take the Redskins. Like I really think that. I don't know what it is. It's crazy that this is what it's come to. Our reasoning, or my reasoning, I guess, for taking the Redskins.
Oh my God!
And I'm not taking them, but if I were, I do.
You taking them?
No, I lean that way. I lean the Redskins. My sole reason is because you got to fade the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. I don't. It doesn't matter. They're double-digit favorites. They're 3-point favorites. They're 6-point favorites. They always wind up not covering. The Redskins will wind up playing great defense. They'll probably shut down CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard. Dak will probably throw an interception, and Sam Howell will do just enough. That's kind of how I would see it, but I don't know. I think this Cowboy team is good. They just beat up on bad teams, and that's what the Redskins are. They're a bad team. I think the Cowboys are going to eat against that bad offensive line. Just the spread is ridiculous. I just don't think 12.5. I even see some 13s. Like,
makes sense.
But that's just crazy,
double digits against Tommy DeVito,
which is why we have to take them. Ron Rivera might be on the hot seat. They're gonna kick. He is. They might fire him. To be honest, if they get blown out, he might get fired.
He's staying in Texas.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they're probably gonna throw the kitchen sink at the Cowboys. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did. I'm gonna stay away from the game, but if I had to, I probably would take the Redskins in the points. I just don't trust the Cowboys, and I love fading the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. But yeah, no official play on the side or total. Player prop, At least CD Lamb, over 82.5 receiving yards. This man's one of the best receivers in the league. Him and the chemistry that Dakin has had the past few games, he's been going crazy. And even this, it's a ladder play. Give me CD Lamb up to 150 plus receiving yards. You know what the Redskins can't cover, number ones. Plus 150 plus receiving yards is at plus 1,125. It's worth a sprinkly.
I ain't mad at you, Dill. My two official plays in this game. Give me CD Lamb over 80.5 receiving yards at minus 115. He's been on a tear for 4 or 5 weeks straight. And Dill, give me Dak Prescott over 265.5 passing yards still. This guy is making an MVP case. I think the defense, I think Mike McCarthy knows this. I think Dak Prescott goes out there, throws for 300 and a couple touchdowns.
I love it. You like my plus 150 receiving yards?
Still, I like it just because it's Turkey Day. It's Turkey Day, so why not get them to 150? So I hope
the Redskins can't guard the number one.
We know that, and to be honest, nobody could guard CD these past 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Yeah, so give me up 150 plus receiving yards. It's my long shot of the week. Let's go to the third game. Do you know who's performing here in Seattle?
In Seattle, I'm gonna say a band.
Steve Aoki, the DJ, the guy who throws the cake in the face. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool. Hopefully he continues the tradition and throws a cake on someone. I mean, that's just part of his routine, kids. So, yeah, another good one. They went 2 for 1, I thought. I thought Jack Harlow, I like the kid, but
he's not from Detroit. That's the only reason I don't like it.
Yeah.
So, nothing against Jack, but, bro, you're not from Detroit. And you know you're not a Detroit Lions fan.
He's probably a Steeler or Browns fan.
I ain't mad at you. You getting the money. I ain't mad at you. But you're going to go out there perform on Thanksgiving with a Detroit Lions jersey, knowing you from Cleveland.
You wouldn't be allowed back.
I would have done the same. I ain't mad at you. I would have 100,000 real quick. Need that.
Seattle Seahawks hosting the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers road favorites, laying 7 on the road, plus 265 for the Seahawks. Over under is at 43.5. Pete Carroll's come out. Geno is expected to play. Kenneth Walker is out. Chardonnay game. Zach Chardonnay, we'll see what the rookie has, but regardless of who was back there, I did my handicap before they expected Geno. I did think Geno was going to tough it out and play, but I just don't think this game's going to be close. I think the 49ers are all the way back. It's as simple as Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel being out. I think that's why they went through that little rut. I do think Brock Purdy had a concussion and was kind of playing through it, but my one worry here is Pete Carroll does own Kyle Shanahan, which scares me. But I'm gonna lay the 7 here. I got it at 6.5 earlier in the week, but I'll still lay the 7. Seahawks, they don't guard the tight end possession well or running backs either out of the backfield. Christian McCaffrey might not just run it; he's gonna have an all-purpose day catching the ball as well. I think the 49ers roll here. I'm a little worried, like I said, Tufalunga. He is out, but like we said during our power rankings, I think that pass rush, Chase Young, excuse me, that pass rush, he's going to get home. So, yeah, and Geno's kind of regressed a little bit. He's playing hurt, backup running back being in. I know DK and Tyler Lockett have had all right years, but I'm going to lay the big number here with the 49ers laying 7. What do you got, kid?
I'm right with you. I'm not going there yet officially, but I might, I ended up doing the 2-way teaser, 6-point teaser. So, I got the 49ers. I even got them earlier, when they're at minus 6.5 to minus half a point with the Detroit Lions in a 2-way teaser. But I'll lean the minus 7 as well. I'm just playing it safe. You got Kenneth Walker III, he's hurt. You got Geno Smith a little banged up. If that defense doesn't go out there and play at their best performance, they might get blown out. Let's just be real, Dill. So I might lay the 7 come tomorrow, but I played it safe with the 2-way teaser. And Dill, I'm gonna give you a prop. I don't know if you got a prop, but I'm gonna just start it off, Dill. Give me Deebo Samuel over 46.5 receiving yards at minus 115. He's been back for 2 weeks. Haven't really got involved yet. Dill, I think he has a breakout game come Turkey Day. And I think he goes for, I'm gonna say 80 yards, a touchdown, and he also runs for about 20 to 30 yards as well. So he has over 100 all-purpose. Goes over receiving and might eat a leg of turkey in the post.
Yeah, and then second play for me here, I'm going to go back to the Niners team total over 25.5. In the two games since the week off, 49ers have pulled up 857 yards and 7.2 yards per play, which is better than Dolphins league best 7 yards per game or per play mark. That included a 437-yard game when they beat the Jags 34-3. And in my opinion, the Jaguars have a better defense than the Seattle Seahawks. And then they just scored. San Francisco has at least 21 points in every one of the last 10 meetings versus Seattle, which 6-3 to the over last 9 games. Like I said, it's going to be a Zach Charbonnet games. Kenneth Walker III isn't playing, so we'll see what the rookie has. In all 7 of their wins for the 49ers, the Niners have topped the team total 25.5 points, with 3 of those coming on the road. So with everyone being healthy and this team finally clicking coming off the bye, I just have a hard time any defense trying to slow them down. I'm going to go team total right back to the well over 25.5 points for the 49ers.
Still, I like it. I just feel like, it's a turkey day. I just feel like the defense could possibly slow them down in Seattle, but still, ever since you got Trent Williams, Debo back, still, this offense has been on another level. So I do agree with it, still. I just feel like the defense might be able to show up, but if Geno Smith is not 100%, and that defense could create short fields, they're gonna hang 30 plus.
Any other player props for you in this game? I thought you said you had one more.
No, that's all, Dell. I got the Debo Samuel
Okay.
over 46.5 receiving yards.
All right. Let's go over Elvis. Thank you. Good luck. Let's have a good Thanksgiving. Let's bring home some winners. Let's transition to the hardwood. LeBron, he fucked me yesterday. He didn't get over his points, but man, they're undefeated in the in-season tournament. Any thoughts there on old Goat James?
To be honest, in the group, you have the Jazz, the Suns, and Memphis. So it's not the best group, but you got to give them credit. They're 4-0. They're playing great basketball. For some reason in the tournament, they're already clinched, so they're already into the elimination round when in the in-season tournament. So congrats to the Lakers. They might have a shot to win it all. And I just feel like LeBron last 4 or 5 game stretch. I understand he didn't go over yesterday. He only played about 20 minutes. They ain't need him yesterday. They blow the complete blowout. I took the Jazz plus 7.5 just because there was an in-season tournament game. It probably was a must-win for them to continue on. I was like, I'll give them a shot to cover at least. Still, what was wrong about that? So I just feel like the Lakers, they're healthy right now. They're playing good. They're shooting the 3 much better to start this season than that last season. And I feel like when they get Gabe Vincent and Jerry Vanderbilt back, they'll be much better.
And we finally got a score yesterday that hit 300 with Indiana and Atlanta. I mean, I know we all picked Atlanta to win the division, but they're not winning anything when they let up 157 points. I mean, and this kid, Halliburton, he is something special, man.
OD.
16 points, 16 assists. He had 5 rebounds. The kid is special. Thoughts on this Indiana team? They're playing actually above, I think, everyone's thought process coming into this season.
I took their season total over. I think it was like at 40.5 or 39.5, something like that. So I expected, Tyrese Halliburton to be, he had the all-star season last year. I expected him to take that next step. But what we're seeing right now, Dill, he might be taking that, I'm one of the, better point guards in the NBA step. I wouldn't go that far yet, but Dill, he's playing at a high level. Huge win, overtime win as well. He's just playing great ball, Dill. And for some reason, I don't know, maybe the in-season tournament got these dudes playing at a high level.
Yeah. Well, we got a lot of games on tonight. I think 14 games, only 2 teams, one of them being the Knicks, are not playing tonight. But you got a big slate for you tonight. Elvis, just rattle off what you got. This Magic team, they're a pesky team.
So let's get right to it. Huge day. Let's just rattle off. Boston, Orlando. Dill, give me Boston minus 4.5. Oh, this is tomorrow. I'm sorry, Dill. I'm sorry. Let me go real quick. Today, Dill, give me the Milwaukee 7:30 start. Milwaukee Bucks taking on Boston Celtics. Dill, give me the Milwaukee Bucks +6 on the road. This Bucks team started real slow this season. Dill, they finally get it going defensively and offensively. Remember, this team was the 28th rank the first, 8 games of the season. They're improving that slowly. I think Milwaukee makes it close in Boston. Another 7:30 start. Miami Heat taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Still, this Miami team has been rolling. I just think they're a little better right now than the Cleveland Cavaliers. Give me Miami Heat on the money line, minus 135. Still, we just spoke about it. Brooklyn Nets taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks, tough game last night. They're gonna be tired, high scoring late game. I just feel like the Brooklyn Nets are gonna go in there and possibly outrun them. They'll give me the Brooklyn Nets on the road +3.5. Think we're
Hold
also
up.
live dogs.
Yeah, I do agree. I think you guys will win the game. I like your team total over just because they play no defense on a back-to-back. And I also have Nick Claxton over 8.5 rebounds as well.
Yeah, hopefully he eats him and Clint Capella will battle it out all night. Still, moving it along. This is my favorite play of the night, people. So if you like it, please hear me out. I'm going to go put multiple units on it.
Wow.
Give me Sacramento Kings minus 1.5 against the New Orleans Pelicans. This is a rematch from the other night. This same Kings team lost by double digits. I expect it to bounce back and win this game by double digits as well. Give me the Kings on the road minus 1.5 as my lock of the day, Dill. Yes, I said it as my lock of the day. Moving on. Just Los Angeles Clippers taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Dill, you're gonna be surprised by this. Give me this the Clippers minus 8.5 on the road. This James Harden, he is grooving. Dill, he got the step in. The step back is going. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. Still, I told you, give this team some time now. I think they're gonna start rid of them off, Dill, and it starts with the minus 8.5. Dill, tonight, Chicago Bulls taking on the OKC Thunder. 8 o'clock start. Dill, give me the OKC Thunder minus 7 at home. Dill, I just feel like this team with Shy's making the case he's the best point guard in basketball.
Top 5, easy.
I'm gonna go top 3. I just feel like right now the OKC Thunders, this should be a 10-point favorite. Chicago Bulls team is not a very good team right now. Dill, again, Utah taking on the Portland Trailblazers. We saw Utah get completely destroyed last night against the Lakers. I think they bounced back. I ended up playing it safe on the money line, minus 142, a little chalky. If you want to lay the 3, by all means. But give me the Jazz on the road, minus 142 on the money line, Dill. And then the last game of the night for me, the Golden State Warriors 2-point dogs on the road taking on the Phoenix Suns. Give me Golden State +2 if you want to sprinkle something on the money line. I just feel like Golden State is the better team right now. No Bradley Beal in the lineup. Devin Booker, Kevin Durant have been playing at elite level. I like Valanciunas down low, but I just think Golden State with Steph Curry in the lineup. You got Clay, you got Andrew Wiggins, you got Kevon Looney on there as well, Dill. I just think Golden State seeks out the victory. And then real quick, they'll give me Kevon Looney over rebounds. I'm trying to get the number right now. He's going to have himself a day. He's starting. So give me Kevon Looney over 10.5 rebounds at +100. That's disrespectful.
Any thoughts on Dylan Brooks returning to Houston? Houston's on a nice little win streak too. They're -5 at home. Dylan Brooks called them, they're not. What did he say? They have no swagger or something.
I don't know. I didn't see that. That was possibly the day where I needed recovery.
Yeah. But Elvis, good luck in the NBA. I had a few plays as well. Only 2 basketball plays. It's been a lot of day basketball. Actually 3-0. 3-0 on the day so far. But 2 games, JMU -4.5 on the road at 8:30 against Fresno State. And then my last game on the slate, give me Pittsburgh home dog +5.5 against the Gators at 9:30. No NBA tomorrow. It is obviously Thanksgiving, so play will resume on Friday with the in-season tournament game. So make sure you guys check Elvis's action at Elvis_Acosta. And I'll have more college basketball plays as well on my action. So guys, check that out as well. Elvis, thank you so much. Long episode, but we got it done. Any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Dill, I thought we had some college football plays for Friday.
That's right.
Come on
Lead
now,
us off.
Dill.
Rivalry week. I forgot all about it.
Rivalry week, Dale. I'm gonna give y'all one play. Iowa taking on Nebraska at Nebraska. Give me Iowa plus 122 on the money line.
Oh, and it's crazy because I had a pick in tomorrow, the only game going on Thanksgiving, the Egg Bowl, Mississippi State hosting Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. Ole Miss minus 11 on the road, over-unders at 54.5. Give me plus 11 with Mississippi State, man. I mean, Ole Miss is good, but 11-point favorites is a little disrespectful. And then Friday, I got a couple plays as well. Give me Texas Tech. Plus 14 against the Longhorns. I just love to fade the Longhorns here. I know they got a lot to play for, but Texas Tech is going to throw the kitchen sink at them. I think they're live dogs. Fuck the Horns. Give me Texas Tech plus 14. Other play, give me Tulane minus 3.5 against the Roadrunners UTSA at home. Tulane 10-1. They're fighting for their division conference winner. And then the last civil war between Oregon and Oregon State late Friday night. I wanted to take the Oregon Ducks, but 13.5 with the Beavers is too much. They're going to cover plus 13. They'll lose probably by a touchdown. Give me Oregon State and the Beavers plus 13.5 for Friday. So I got a couple picks there. We got Auburn, Alabama this weekend. We got the game, Ohio State at Michigan.
Big house.
We got a lot of games to get to on Saturday. But happy Thanksgiving to everyone and their families. That's going to do it for this Wednesday edition.
Real quick, though. Let me end it off there with a bang. Thanksgiving treat, people. I have a parlay for the night, people. I told you I like the Kings tonight. Give me the Kings money line. Zion to score 15-plus points. DeAndre Fox to score 20-plus points. Sabonis, 10-plus rebounds. Valanciunas, 6-plus rebounds at plus 180, people.
I love it, Elvis. Good luck. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. That's going to do it for this Wednesday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys Saturday to recap Thursday night football, all of our bets. Hopefully, we have a good winning day. Follow along our social media, X and Instagram at the Dream Wager. We go live every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on YouTube, on youtube.com/the Dream Wager. If you guys miss an episode, no problem. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, rate, give us a review, leave a comment who you think might win on Thanksgiving. But all that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.
Gobble, gobble.